Hi everyone, my name is Selena for those joining us here for the first time today, and welcome back to Beyond Borders Teaching. Today we are joined by my two friends who are also fellow international teachers from Colombia. So please stay tuned to join us to hear more about their journey of teaching in the United States. Everyone, welcome back to Beyond Borders Teaching. Today we are joined by my two friends, Stephen and Sonia. This is part one of Teaching the World Together, where they will share their journey of becoming international teachers in the US, their experience, and the various things they would have endured, went through, overcome while being here in the US. So thank you again so much for joining me here today. Can you all briefly introduce yourselves? Where did you all come from in Colombia? How many years you taught there? And what brought you all to the US?
Okay. Hey everyone. I'm so glad to be here, Selena. My name is Steven Pacheco. I am from Bogota, Colombia, the capital, the best city in Colombia. I've been teaching for roughly 6 years now, almost 7 years.
Wow.
I taught all grade levels back in Colombia: high school, middle school, elementary school, kindergarten. But the grades I taught the most years in was 4th grade, 5th grade, and I taught social studies and science.
Okay.
I also taught English, but mostly social studies and science.
Okay.
Hi everyone, hi Celi. I'm from Cali, Colombia, and this is my 5th year as a teacher in Colombia. And I used to teach kindergarten, I used to teach all elementary school and middle school until 8th grade. All the subjects, especially science, English, and math in English.
Okay.
And now we are here.
And what brought you all here?
Yeah.
The money. No,
It's not enough nowhere in the world
it's
you
not
go.
enough. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, mostly what brought us here was the opportunity to learn another culture,
Yes.
learn about another culture, a different kids, different people, but also share a little bit of our culture
Yes.
to a foreign language, to a foreign culture. Sorry. Also getting the experience, because we've never been anywhere else. Like, we've traveled, but we hadn't lived anywhere else other than Colombia. So we kind of wanted to have that experience.
Yes.
I think it's very meaningful for us being English teachers in Colombia, because that's what our degree is about. So I said English teachers that have never been or worked in another country, in an English speaking country.
And getting that experience.
So did you inspire her, or she inspired you to make this trip?
Well, we have been thinking a lot of about it. And the first thing that we were thinking about was Canada. But for us was at that moment that we start all the process to go to Canada, it was hard, it was difficult, and it took like a lot of time.
Wow.
So, and money.
Yes.
Yeah. So we applied for a scholarship in 2022. Of course, it was a very competitive.
Yes.
So we couldn't pass. So when we came back to Colombia, because we were traveling in Europe,
Lovely.
one of his colleagues, because he was working in an institute too, told him about a program for teachers. So we said, well, why not? And that's why we decided to apply, just to see if we can be able to be accepted. And we start the filters, and we start passing the filters, and one more, and one more, and one more. And now when we realized we were here.
Yes. Awesome. Delighted to have you. Second segment, we'll be looking at the journey to teaching abroad. What are the steps you all took to become international teachers in regards to the J1 process? Like, I know earlier you talked about passing through the filters, which I am aware of as well, because we have the same sponsor. In terms of the lesson plans, we had to do several interviews, the different courses and stuff we had to take. what else was the process like? And both of you all have J1 visas. So could you just shed some light on that?
Okay, well, after we passed the lesson plan, the interviews, all that, Sonia passed them first, then I did. Okay. Kudos for Sonia.
Yes. Wife taking the lead.
Yeah. So then, since we lived in Cali, there's not embassy, a U.S. embassy in Cali, so we had to travel to Bogota, my city, to get all the process done. But it was pretty fast because it was a J1 visa. Tourist visa is super long process, but it was really fast.
Work visa.
Yeah. So mostly what we did was go into the embassy website, upload all our information with the help of our sponsor.
Yes.
And then we had to pay some fines and all that. And then in 2 days, I think we traveled to Bogota like for 3 days. In 2 days, we had the whole process done.
Okay.
And then they mailed us the passport back with the visa stamped on it.
Yes, because both of you all are teachers independently, so both of you all came up here having separate J1 visas, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Something that maybe people don't know is that when you're applying to the visa, you have to pay. They send you the DS, that is an official document that the sponsor needs to send you, and then you have to pay for your visa. But 3 days before your appointment, you have to pay an extra money. Because you have to pay for a permission or something like that. That has a name, a service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And something that we didn't know is that our interview with the consul was in English. So that's an important tip for people that is trying to apply. That you have to get ready. They are going to give you like a little book with some laws and rules in the US. As a teacher, I recommend you to read it because when you get to the consul, they are going to ask you some questions from that book.
Yes.
And you need to get ready. You have like 2 minutes and they are going to ask you like 2 or 3 questions about the book and the time that you are going to spend in the US as a teacher.
Okay.
So you need to get ready and prepare for that.
Okay. Well, something I'd like to add to what they are saying here about their J1 process. It is awesome when both of them as teachers got to come as a J1 visa, because it means that they were immediately coming towards a job. Both of them were coming already being employed to be teachers. Versus for my particular experience, I also came with my husband, but I came as a J1 and he came as my dependent having a J2 visa. What does that mean? I came into a job, whereas he came as my dependent and had to apply to get a work permit in order to be able to work. So I know for some of my advisees, their spouses took a while until they got a job. My spouse took roughly 2 months until he got his work permit. Then a month after that, he was fortunate to get a job. So that's one of the big things as why it may be more beneficial, if possible, to come as both J1 visas versus coming as a J1 and J2 visa. That's one of the things. As well as a major thing for me would be the insurance, because of course as a J1 visa, the fee that you pay for your insurance with the sponsor is hugely different to that what is paid versus a J1 versus J2 visa. So it's something to factor in for persons who may be looking at their budget and how much it's going to cost them to come with a dependent, whether it be a spouse, whether it be your kids or whoever you're coming with, versus coming as a single person, a J1 visa, or both persons having a J1 visa. So that's something I think would be very beneficial for future international teachers to be aware of, because I know persons who are already here would know what I'm speaking about. So hopefully that's beneficial. And if you all have any questions, of course, you can leave them down. So in this part of our talk, we are going to talk about your teaching experience in the United States. So how do your teaching roles differ or align in the US compared to what you would have experienced or encountered in Colombia? How is it different?
Thank you, mi amor. I think that is very different. in some aspects. Both countries are aligned to standards, so we work based on standards. But here, the most huge or visible difference is in the subjects. In Colombia, we used to teach social studies, science, math, Spanish, English, geometry, arts, and all of that kind of subjects. But here in the US, you just teach basically 2 subjects and 15 minutes of science and 15 minutes of social studies. In my case, that I'm a second grade teacher, most of the time I didn't even teach science or social studies like a normal subject. I just try to introduce those subjects during ELA.
I know what you're
classes.
talking about. Like in the Scholastic magazine we get at our school, those have science and social studies topics in it. So I may use that for a lesson for science and social studies. So I know we embed it in other subject areas.
Exactly. Yes. So that's one of the big difference that I can notice as a teacher here. And also as a cultural difference is the behavior of the kids. In Colombia, I think that both of us, we were like more flexible with the kids. But here in the US, we have to be like rough more with structure. Them. Yeah. And with more procedures and structures in our classes. I don't know. What about you, mi amor?
The schedule, again, it's different from what I'm used to in Colombia. And I also noticed that in Colombia, I worked at a private school. So stuff is different in Colombia also from private school to public schools. So one thing that it's new for me, it's self-contained classes. That's new. I've never done that in my life. Never taught all the subjects myself. That's something new.
Yes.
But it's a lot on the teacher, but I feel like it's beneficial for the kids.
Yes.
Because they already know the teacher, they know how the teacher works. You can like see, okay, my kids need to grow on this. They're good with this, so I can just move on. So maybe a teacher that just focusing one subject, going to different classes with different kids might miss some of those struggles or skills that the kids have. So I like that. Cultural shock for me, the first day I came in the school was the cafeteria. Because in my country, we don't throw food away. And I guess, well, I don't judge people because cultures are different and stuff. But for me, it was a huge shock. And I noticed that when I was doing when I first came here and my sponsor told me some stuff, some of them were really telling me like you can emphasize that you can make kids eat, you can make them eat. If they eat, they eat. If they don't eat, it's okay. So it was hard because in my country, I used to tell kids, you're not standing up, you're not going to play until you're done. You're not throwing all that food. So that's a cultural shock. Now I'm not okay with it, but I can live with it. It's the way it is. I'm not gonna change the world in one day. But that was a huge cultural shock for me.
I know. How do you all support each other professionally? Do you all like share strategies? Do you all plan lessons together?
We do that a lot. We don't necessarily plan together, but we share a lot. And some of my colleagues are a little jealous of me because they say, you come to your house to your wife that's a teacher, she understands what you're going through. She shares ideas. But then I have a coworker, her husband is not a teacher, so he doesn't understand as much as all the things that she has to do and stuff. So we do collaborate a lot. I steal a lot of ideas from Sonia. She's super creative.
When you have that support.
We always spend like a moment in the afternoon when we came to our house to share our day, how was our day, and what happened. And if we are like getting stressed or something, we say, no, this happened today. I don't know how to fix it. So the other can say, okay, let's try this one.
Yes.
Let's try to solve this together. So we are very supportive.
Yes, you'll bounce ideas off each other.
And Steven is a great teacher. He's a great teacher. And he was the teacher of the month.
Yes, and
so
he'll be the teacher of the year. I claim it.
Our toy boy.
Yes.
So
Our inside joke, you could tell we are friends.
he can understand very many things that are happening around our days.
Yes.
So I used to get super sad and sometimes mad because of my day.
Yes.
So he's always trying to calm me down.
Yes. It's important to have that balance.
Yeah, and give me ideas like, okay, let's try this, let's try that thing, or why can we change this? So I think that having someone that supports you and understands you is very important, even if that person is not a teacher as you.
Yes.
I think that it's very important that you have to spend time with your couple and talk about the day and how you can solve problems, because of course we don't know anything, like many things, but people can see from different perspectives.
Yes,
what is
get
going
another
on.
point of view. Talking about with support, how has your schools, accommodated you all, made you all feel supported within being new international teachers? Because you all are here 2 years now, this is your second year. How has your school done that?
Well, my school, they're great doing that because there's not like a system to get people up to speed.
Yes, okay.
But there's a lot of support, like a lot of people willing to help you. If you want to learn, like this is what like we talk about it before we came here. Like no matter how many years we've talked in our country, we're beginning teachers. So if you're willing to learn, they're willing to teach you. At my school, even my coworkers,
I agree, at mine as well.
They get ideas from me. I get a lot of ideas from them. We also share. So I think that your environment, your teachers, your community, it's really important. Not every school has a system to assign you a person to tell you what to do and how to do it.
Yes.
But if you're coming here, one thing you have to do is ask everything.
Yes.
Everything. Ask. Yes. Don't assume you know how to do it because you have 20 years of experience or 15 years of experience.
Yes, indeed.
Because if you're coming here, that experience, I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but things are different here.
I completely agree.
You must be willing to learn.
Yes.
So
and that's what we ask educators.
Exactly. So that's what I'm really grateful for my school, because they've been really helpful with that. Like having patience as well, and there's not a person assigned to do something, but if I see that somebody can do something that I can't, I go ask and ask for help. And most of the time it's really rare that when you ask for help, a person will say, no, I can't help you. They're most of the time are willing to help you. So that's what my school has done.
Easier.
Yeah.
Well, since we are in different schools in different counties, in my school happens the same.
Yes.
The only difference that I can notice is that I had a lead teacher the first year.
Okay.
So we were two teachers with the same class. So I had the opportunity to learn a lot from my lead teacher. And now I can be the lead teacher.
Yes.
But I'm working by myself. I don't have a co-teacher or TA.
Yeah.
So she helped me a lot, because here you have a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
And you have to learn a lot of words that you didn't even use in Colombia. Like EOG,
acronyms,
MOY,
acronyms galore.
And you say, I remember the first time that I listened like about the EOG, and I was like, what is EOG?
Yes.
And then I knew that it was end of the year.
What is IEP?
Yes.
Yes. So those are the things.
All these, Yes.
So those are the things that you need to learn. And at the first time it's shocked.
Yes.
But then
Culture
you
shock.
can just
Yeah.
They start learning,
Quickly
so
adapt.
that's why you have to ask.
Yes.
In my case, I need to take notes for almost everything.
Yes.
So everything that was new for me,
Yes.
I just taking notes.
Yes.
But yeah, here I could notice that they are very hardworking, and they love working as a team. So you have to be ready and prepared, get ready and prepared for share your ideas.
Yes. Yes.
To listen.
All the icebreakers, yes.
To follow recommendations and suggestions.
You can't sit and stay quiet.
And don't take anything personal.
Yeah.
Plus,
the most important thing.
The most important thing. I wanted to add on the supporting thing, because maybe you are trying to come here with your spouse and you're a teacher or not. You don't know. But the first the first year, it's really hard because it's a new country, new job, new people. You don't know anybody here. So it's really important that you support each other and you are understanding of each other's situation, either if you're a teacher or not.
Find your tribe. One of my episodes.
Yes. Because if you're a teacher, well, you understand, like we said. But if you're not, one person has to understand that the other person maybe is like wants to get a job right now, but maybe can't.
Yes.
So it's like it's a process to get settled.
Yes.
And it's a struggle as well at the beginning as a teacher. Learn that as a teacher. I don't know in your country, but in my country, I wasn't behind in my work, never.
Yeah.
But here, there's no catching up. Ever. There's always something
and it
to
may
do.
not be your fault either, because like for example, we had a lot of snow days that took off from the school year and they didn't give us it back to say finish the curriculum, or sometimes they give too much lessons that is not following with the amount of days given for the school year.
Exactly. And with the amount of paperwork, meetings, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just say, I know it's stressful, but just go with the flow.
Yes.
Just take it
Do
easy.
your best
Take a
and
drink.
forget the rest.
Do your best. Yeah. Do your best. And if you need to ask. If you need to ask for more time, if you need to say sorry, or if you messed up, just say it. Don't hide it, because they're gonna know.
Yes.
So
indeed.
That's an piece of advice for free.
Thank you. As you can see, we're having lots of fun. So I'd like to find out, how has your life been as a couple abroad? How has living and working abroad impacted your relationship? Now, I know previously you all spoke about the fact that both of you all are teachers. It allows you all to understand the dynamics of what teaching is, as well as to help out each other. But what are some other ways it has impacted? Positive, anything to share?
Well, we have grown closer here.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love it.
Put a little heart.
Yes. I would say same from I and my spouse,
Yeah. We have grown to get closer together, because we only have each other.
Yes.
And for us to leave our families, especially for Sonia, to leave her mom, because my parents lived in different countries before I moved here. So I was kind of used to that. But for her to leave her grandma, her brother, her dad, her mom, all her family, it was really hard. Of course. So we grew closer here, and actually it's been really good because we didn't have that much time living together before coming here.
Okay, yes.
So actually it's been awesome. I feel, listen, for the people that do this on their own, I take my hat out, because I take my hat off, sorry, because it's hard.
Yes.
I've told Sonia many times, if I had come here alone, I've already been in Colombia, because it would be really hard. I wouldn't make it on my own.
Yes.
And she says the same. Yeah,
totally agree.
That's something positive. Negative, nothing.
Yeah.
Positive, we've grown closer. We understand each other. We have a great relationship.
Yes.
So we love each other a lot.
Yes, I see it all the
I've been
time.
spending wonderful memories here and time here. We had the opportunity to travel.
Yes.
Not as much as we want.
Yes.
But we have been in places that are
We never thought.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they were so
Aw.
magical and so
Uh-huh.
beautiful. So those are things that enrich our relationship.
Yes.
So
Memories, creating those memories.
I think that this opportunity to be teaching here has been amazing in all aspects. Not even as a teacher or as a professional part, but also in our relationship.
Wonderful. My next question would be, what are some of the biggest advantages and challenges of navigating the journey together? So I know you all talk about some of the positives, and you said only positives, but what has been an advantage, or what has been something that challenged this? Were there any challenges? Although I know you said everything has been positive.
One challenge that we have is that we work at different schools and they're
Yes.
far from each other.
Yeah. So you said different
So
counties.
that's something that we had to come to an agreement to. Okay, let's, because economically we cannot afford 2 cars.
Yes, indeed.
And stuff like that. So we had to come to an agreement to, okay, we live closer to my school and then you drive, or closer to your school and then I drive.
Yes.
So that's something that you really need to plan ahead, so you know where to look, or all that it's really important.
Yeah.
So that's
Budget.
something not negative but challenging,
Yes.
because obviously I'm 5 minutes away from my school, maybe 3 minutes. So I get out of 3:30, I get to my house at 3:35 at most. But Sonia gets at home at 4, so she's tired. She has to drive 40 minutes. She has to wake up earlier and get up. So that's challenging as well. And good things, well, at two income.
Yes,
That
indeed.
helps a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
2
Indeed.
income household, it's good.
Yes.
You can save money.
You can save money, and there is some stuff that we can help each other out when we are, for example, sometimes we have to stay like for school nights and stuff like that. So I take care of stuff when she has school nights, or she takes care of stuff on my school when I have school nights. So we support each other in that way.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
For all what you shared, it was definitely a worthwhile contribution. Yes.
No, thank you so much, Sally, for inviting us.